Hello everybody, Captain Cody here from globalfishingreports.com. Today we're going to be talking about how to sharpen a knife with a carbide knife sharpener. Now this may seem really straightforward, but I actually made a previous video where I showed the wrong way to do it. So I'm going to ask you, which of these 4 ways to do it is the correct way? Method A, hold the knife like this and slide the knife like this a few times. That's method A. Is that the correct way to do it? Method B is to hold the carbide sharpener this way and slide your knife across like this as you sharpen it. Now this is method C. Place your knife on a table, on your fillet table, hold your carbide sharpener like this, and sharpen your blade like this. And method 4 would be to hold your knife like this and run your sharpener like this. Now this way kind of looks ridiculous, but this is actually the same method as method A, but in reverse. Now if you actually look at the carbide sharpener, it's not just 90 degrees in there, it's actually angled. It's actually angled at an angle like this. So if you run your knife this way, or you run your knife this way, it actually runs at a slightly different angle. They'll both be at that like 22-degree angle to the side, so both of them are going to sharpen your blade, but one of them does get a better grip on the knife whenever you're running it across. Alright, so this was method A. This is actually incorrect. This is actually how I previously showed to sharpen the knife, and this is actually how I was sharpening my knife for a long time using these sharpeners. But it's actually incorrect for 2 reasons. One is you are kind of more likely to cut yourself because you're cutting across all of your fingers. Someone actually in the comments of the other video said that they thought my fingers were going to drop as I did this, and they said this is not the correct way to do it, which they are correct. That is not the correct way to do it. The guard actually makes it pretty safe, and you pretty well know you're in there, so whenever you're actually doing it, it doesn't actually feel that dangerous, but you still do have to be careful. So method 2, this is also incorrect, but this is actually the proper way to run your knife along the carbide blades. And you can sort of tell you kind of are not cutting down towards your fingers as you do this, which makes this an okay method. And to be honest, this actually might be how I sharpen my knife from now on, although it's actually not the safest and it's not the recommended way, but it is an easy way, and in my opinion it's relatively safe, but it's not the way you're actually technically supposed to use the sharpener. Alright, this was method 4. Have your knife laid down and to run your sharpener like this. This is incorrect because 1, you're running the sharpener the wrong way against the blades, and number 2 is you're also running your fingers towards the blades, which is not safe. So this is definitely not the recommended way to do it. So the correct way to use this AccuSharp knife sharpener is to lay your knife down, hold your sharpener in your right hand with the guard in place, and run the sharpener like this. If you look online, this is actually how the demo pictures are done, where they have it like this, and they're sliding it across. And what this helps is if you do just so happen to make a mistake and you're not connected, you're not going to cut your fingers as badly as you would if you actually had it in your hand. There's definitely still is a risk of cutting your fingers, so this by no means makes it so that you can't cut your fingers as you're sharpening the knife. You can still cut your fingers because they drop below the thickness of the knife, and in some cases your knife's going to be a lot thicker than this. So you still do have to be very careful as you do this, but it makes it less likely. Another good way to do it is to actually have this carbide sharpener mounted on a table. They actually make ones, not this particular one, but they have ones that are mounted so you don't have to have your hands anywhere near it, and then you can just sharpen it with it right mounted to your fillet table.